Hey Nabil, welcome to It's Launch Day.
Hello, Dago. Great to be here finally, hearing its launch day.
And so you're the last part of this first launch day because since it took me such a long time to ship this product, someone who had recorded an interview, they gave up on their product since then.
So that's
So
awesome.
they decided to give their spot for free, and so you win kind of like the Twitter contest where
Awesome.
I just
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
so welcome to this launch day.
Thank you. Great to be here. I'm not very good
So
with camera and talking on the spot, but yeah, let's try.
yeah, it's fine. That's a lot of people in your situation. Because it's like indies trying maybe their first time. So that's all fine, man. So
Yes.
can you tell us a bit about how you became an indie maker, like how you went to where you are now? What's your story?
Sure. So I started building products 10 years back. That time, like it was for a company I was employed. It's been more than 10 years now. I started as a web developer at that time, working in PHP and vanilla JavaScript and all those stuff. No
Yeah.
frameworks whatsoever. And in that company, we were like two people, me and my friend. We were handling the entire tech. Like that was a 25 years old company, and they were starting the software division. We started over there, and then they wanted someone to shift into app development because they had promised Deloitte that they have an app ready for them. So someone from us had to shift into app development. So I took over app development. My friend took over the web development. That's how I parted ways with the web development to mobile apps. Then I started making Android apps. Then I went into iOS apps. After a couple of years, I started to get interested into design. That's why I started to learn
Hmm.
InVision Studio. At that time, InVision Studio was a good thing. Now it does not even exist, I think so. Uh,
Yeah, they killed it recently because I used to like this
yeah,
too, but they killed it
yeah,
recently. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Then, yeah, tried designing. Eventually, after a while, it sort of became like a generalist thing, doing everything, a bit of this, a bit of
Yeah.
that. Uh, Eventually, the company asking me to lead their products. So, yeah, that's how I became like a product manager over there and worked with a lot of
Mm.
uh, companies, banks, and even the government of India for the Indian Railways thing. Worked 8 years in the single company. That is, I am like an outlier
Wow.
over there. So in my
That's
position,
that's
like
that's scary. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I've seen people who jump companies after every 2 years. They get a good bump, raise everything. And I've been
Yeah.
happy because I got to learn a lot of things. And I feel that it was the right thing for me to do because every year I used to do something new. That's how in that
Yeah.
8 years I
As
was.
long as you're growing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So in that 8 years, I built various applications. Right now, they are being used in Deloitte, ICICI Bank, and all those things, pan India. Uh, the most awesome work which I did over there was building an application for the Indian Railways. The amount of
Oh wow.
people that travel over there on a daily basis, they have to track that live location of each train. So that all tech was designed and built by me over there in that company. You know, built as in not coded. It was like the designing of everything, how it needs to work, working with the developers, the designers, and everything, putting the brain in that. But yeah, that was an awesome thing. After that, it was like,
That's cool. Just to
yeah,
just to look at this railway thing. It, it sounds like a pro. It seemed like something useful, like for
yes, yes,
society.
yes,
There's something cool about that. It's not
yes,
just some. I mean, not some bullshit marketing thing, like
yeah,
marketing
no,
B2B product that we're
no,
all doing, which
yes,
is cool. But
yeah.
like, I don't know, there's something cool about railway doing something real. I don't know. That's what I'm
Yes.
thinking
So,
about. Did you feel that? Did you feel that it was? Did you connect with that? Did it make you
I
especially
yes,
happy?
I'll give you some examples of that, like how beautiful that experience was. So, the city I live in, Mumbai. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like the business capital of India. Like tons of people travel via railways. Like there are like 8 million people, like, on the daily basis on the railway thing, and there is no live location for that trains. So if I share some videos after this with you of how people catch the trains and
Yeah.
everything, it's very difficult. So yeah, over there, so the physical train, that one train has to change multiple destinations, and it is ad hoc. It becomes ad hoc. So there is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you just fit a GPS and you map it with that train, it won't work. So what we had to do is we had to place in
Okay.
cameras on stations. We had to place in Bluetooth beacons on the railway
Oh
tracks,
yeah.
okay, and map all these things to find out, okay, this train which I'm getting the GPS is exactly of which, exact train. So we had to do all these things across the city, and we built it and record time. And then when we launched it, after a few months, while I was traveling in a few trains, I saw people using the same app which I built, like on the right and the
Wow.
left.
Yeah,
That
this is
was
the
the feeling.
best.
That was the best
Yeah.
feeling.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
that
Yeah,
was the
you did something
experience.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
Af
like so you had that and so how did you, go to
Yes, yes.
what you're doing
So
now?
while I was building this, since it was a very small, tightly knit team, so I was envisioning, okay, this has to be here, this has to be there, etc. So before every release, I had to share a lot of feedback with the team, right? And those
Yeah.
feedback was always like taking screenshots, marking it on WhatsApp or Slack, and no, it's not Slack. We were using Teams at that time, so marking it over there and sharing it with the team. And okay, do this over here, shift this to over here. This feature has to be like this, etc. So it was
Yeah.
a lot of screenshots and annotations. And the thing was, even the developers at a certain point, it became difficult for them that, okay, there are so many things over here. How do I keep track of what I'm doing and what I'm not doing? And
Yeah, yeah.
eventually it became difficult for me as well. Like, I have shared 50 or 60 feedback to this developer on his WhatsApp over here, 50 to him over here. Okay. How do I make sure everything is done? So there are two parts to this problem, that sharing that feedback while taking screenshots is a difficult thing. Uploading it to Jira or Linear, that's a separate thing in itself. If I have to capture screenshot
I
on
see.
mobile and then
Yeah.
upload, that was like a different thing. It was like my entire day would used to go in that itself. So that's where the problem stuck. That there has to be a simpler way where I can just, whatever I'm capturing on my device or the screenshots, I can just tap my comment over there and just share a simple link to the developer, and they'll get everything over there. And whatever they
And
mark, that okay, this is done, I can
and
see it.
so it's like productivity based on screenshot, on feedback on screenshot. Uh,
Yes. So that's where the
you know
idea
what I
stuck.
liked about the reason I chose your product is it seemed. Are you still there?
Yeah, 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 I'm here. Is my
Okay,
audio
cool.
lagging? Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's only lagging, for us, but the recording will be clean.
Okay.
So anyway, uh, the reason I chose your product is it seemed very simple, and I'm like, wow, it's this kind of product that you're like, why nobody thought about it before? And
Exactly.
that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah.
So I guess, can you show us now? Can you take us through a little bit of the product?
Yes, definitely. So what the problem when it started was for the app. So we built an app first, but later on the same problem extended to a lot of things. That this became a problem even for websites. This became a problem even for videos. So when I was working with
Yeah,
the design team, when they were creating the launch videos, so I had to share them feedbacks while writing the timestamps in Notion. 0.02,
yeah, yeah,
do this. 1.23, do this. So that's why
yeah,
we started like, okay, this is not just an app problem. This is like a problem for everything. Mobile apps, live websites, videos. You have to share feedback on any and everything that goes. Nothing goes to
yeah,
live or production without an internal review. At least in those companies, agencies, and all those
yeah.
things, there has to be an internal review. And that internal review leads to feedback. That feedback leads to iterations. Iterations lead to improvement, and then live. There is this entire cycle that has to go inside, which is very unorganized. So yeah,
Yes, I see.
the product is Bugsmash, where you can simply upload your collaterals. If it's a website, you can type in the website's link. the website opens up in the browser itself, in the portal itself in Bugsmash. You can tap anywhere, you can start writing your comments, and you can
I
share the
see.
feedback. So I'll just quickly demo one website over here. Okay. I'll go to website feedback. This is login.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm already logged in. Uh, so these are all the
Cool.
things you
Wow.
can
Yeah.
do.
You know,
Like,
it's
yeah,
and up until that point, I was still scared that your product doesn't look as good as on the landing page. And like now I see, okay, it looks as cool because um, and even like you had some amazing like list of clients on your homepage. So I
yes,
double checked with you on Twitter, like, is this real?
yes,
Because sadly some people bullshit. But now that I know all your story, and like I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This is legit, and this is really really well done, man.
yes. For that, to add those logos, when I had that initial website, I did not had logos to add. So, so there were no
And that's
logos for
normal,
a good,
and that's
yeah,
the and it's
yes,
yeah, exactly, and that's normal.
yeah,
That's cool. We
yes,
shouldn't add fake logos. That's so
right.
terrible practice. Okay,
Okay, let me start reviewing. So this is just a website for us which explain like me and my friends work. Solution why this is the name of the parent thing which we work under. For example, this website is now loading within Bugsmash. So it's proxying via Bugsmash and it's getting it loaded. The reason we had to do is if we simply load it into an iframe, you cannot mark your comment on exact DOM element, right? So, so for example, the
because
structure of the
I was convinced I was convinced it was an iframe. Wow. So
yeah,
it's like no, it's not. So
yeah,
wow.
it's
So
not an
like some
iframe.
technical.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
it's
Because
quite advanced to make sure it's the best experience.
yes, yes. Because in websites there are dynamic elements. The elements keep changing their position. It will rotate. It will go over there. The sites are not just
Yeah.
static, right? So the feedback has to be captured on the DOM element itself. For example, while I'm scrolling over here, you see this box is highlighted. If I go to our services, this our services gets this outline. So the feedback is actually on the exact DOM element. I'm just writing again. Change
Yeah, I
this
see.
title to okay. So whatever feedbacks you add over here, it will
I
get
see.
attached to this site. Okay. I can keep
Yeah.
change this to our new client, for example. Okay. I can keep adding feedbacks over here, change images, change something, whatever.
Okay.
I get all the feedbacks assigned, feedbacks tagged over here. I can assign it to my team members. I can tag a priority, or and there is this metadata attached to it,
Yeah.
which captures the screenshot. This screenshot is for additional debugging purposes. For example, someone changed the site, like an update was pushed after I shared this
Yeah.
comment, an
Yeah.
update gets pushed. Okay, the sites can change. So you have to capture that moment as well. Like when the feedback was shared, how was it actually looking in that person's browser? So you capture that screenshot along with the comment and everything. And then this is something like
Wow.
once
So
we have
like
all
it's
this,
so I really love the quality, man. The attention to detail looks like something, looks like something that looks like Loom or like some big shot website. Looks awesome, man. Yeah.
thanks, man. Yeah. So the flow would be like once I have all this comments done, I'll just simply click on share. I'll take this share link and either share this public link with my like in the Slack channel or the Teams group. So whoever wants to go, they can click on this link and open it and see all the comments. Or if I have to add any like just the emails of people who want that access, I can just enter the emails and share it with them.
Yeah.
Once they come over here, they can see these comments. They can see, okay, this is to be done. They'll just mark it as complete when it's done. It will be moved. I'll get a notification. They'll get a
Yeah.
thing that okay, this was resolved, and that's done. Like, and once the next iteration of something has to be uploaded, this is basically for videos and stuff. For example, if
Yeah.
there was a video. I shared some comment. The designer has to upload a new version. They can go, they can add a new version, they can upload a new video, and I'll see that video over here. So basically, you don't have to go into
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
it's not just websites. It's also videos, and it's
Yes.
also basically lots of things.
Yes.
So that's what's cool because you can use because like it's annoying when you have one tool to do one thing, one tool for another, but
Exactly.
like any kind of a visual thing that you can review, your tool
Yes.
support,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. So videos, websites, images, PDFs. Surprisingly, we have got as much interest for PDF files as for websites. So a lot of people want feedback on the PDF files. And the main use case which I have seen is they have these huge PDF files where they have to get anonymous feedback from a lot of people. For example, there is a community. They have to get feedback
Oh
from a lot
yeah.
of people. So they upload the PDF over here, they share it, and they keep the settings like okay, anonymous people can share their feedback without even logging in.
Like what kind of community? Like I'm just curious because I don't. It's hard for me to imagine.
Yeah. So there was this one user who was running an NGO. So, and he had a
Okay.
document
Yeah.
prepared, and he has like, okay, they have to share it with their that community and get feedback from all those people over there. And he wanted that to be anonymous. So whoever is sharing the feedback, he's like they don't want to disclose the names of everyone over there. So there is a setting over here that okay, you can keep it uh, anonymous as well, like allow anonymous comments.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
the names and
And
everything
since
won't
it's
be
like a
displayed.
it's like a link, so people cannot discover it. So it's only people who you send the link, and then you
Yes,
can keep anonymity. That's cool. Wow.
yes. And recently enough, like when we showed this to a lot of people, obviously, like people have their internal workflows ready, Jira, Slack, etc., and they wanted this to be connected to their workflow so that if they add an issue over here, it will move them to their Jira, to their Slack. This was something which we built recently for Jira and Slack.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
awesome, man. So can you wait? Is there like one last thing you wanted to show?
yeah, the extension thing. So when you mentioned like anything which can be visually reviewed. So we have tried to add everything, websites, videos, PDFs, images, audio, and even mobile apps. And but still there are stuff which are difficult to render on web. For example, 3D elements. So what we have done is we have created an
Yeah.
extension of our own, and it's a Chrome browser and Firefox extension which you can install. And once you install that extension, you can basically review anything on web. So if you have that extension over here, I can click on extension.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I have to share a comment on this space, I'll just capture and add my comment, change this, save, and I can
Yeah. And in
simply
that case, that's like a screenshot type thing.
yes,
Okay, I see. Yeah.
yeah. So this is very helpful for 3Ds.
So you really thought of like all
Yes.
the use cases, all the potential problems. Very thorough. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome work, man. Um, yeah. So how much does this cost normally? Like, what's the pricing? How do you sell that normally?
So for us, like I'll be honest, so the main pricing, the main costing for us usually comes down to the storage because these are assets. And a video, a normal video is like 100 200 MBs. Then PDF files are like they're a big file, so we have to store these on like on our clouds. So the pricing which we have thought was basically the starter plan for $9 a month, which is like a two-member team. It is for small teams where there is usually one
Yeah, I see.
reviewer or there is like one developer, one designer with them, and it's a close small team where they have to share the feedback. So it's like for them, the $9 includes two people, two members, and then there is a team like these are the mid to big size companies where they have a big team of designers, developers, etc. Everyone, and so this 79 includes 10 members. So okay, if you have like a 8 to 10
Yeah, I
members of
see.
team, you can
I
directly
see.
pick this one, and it. So the place where we tried to differentiate was lot of teams have lot of products have this per user per month pricing, which increases
I
substantially
see. Yeah.
afterwards, even for going ahead. So that's why we started to
Yeah.
differentiate. Like, okay, in 79, you just don't have to. So, like the decision making becomes easier. If you are to 8 to 10, just
Yeah.
pick
Yeah. Yeah.
this. Don't keep on calculating that, okay,
You know,
11 into
I'm.
10. Yeah.
Yeah. This based pricing, man, it's annoying. As somebody who's paying because even me, like for some time, I was using Slack with my previous startup because for a while there was three co-founders. Then most
Yeah.
of the time we were just two. But just being three people, like it's just a nightmare. Like you're just using basic Slack and you have to pay more just to have a history. Like it's just,
Yes,
and so I think, it's really for big B2B. I guess you make way
exactly.
more money this way.
Yes,
So you sell like this and big companies, they don't care.
yes,
But so I like that you did that because it's, I guess, a bit more indie friendly, in that way. And you also have a free plan that seems, not so bad. So like
yes.
that's cool.
So
Did
the,
you
the
did you
thing
find
which
some success with the free plan?
till now, yes, we have not started like a full-fledged marketing thing. So it's like whatever I'm sharing on Twitter, that's bringing some audience. Whatever I'm sharing on Reddit, that's bringing
Okay, yeah,
something. Yeah, but yeah, the free plan is basically for like you get to experience two projects. Either one can be video or one can be website, and you can share it with your team member. That's why
yeah,
we have kept it for two members at least. And 25 guest is basically anyone who can come into your workspace and comment, but they won't upload anything. So in
yeah,
free
yeah.
plan,
That
we have kept, yeah, like
okay.
25 guests. Like that's good enough for your small startup or something. And for all the paid plans, we have kept it to unlimited. Like what? Because we are not getting charged for this. So I'm like, okay, this can be unlimited,
Yeah,
like unlimited for all
this
the
is
paid
cool. Yeah,
plans.
this is I like the yeah. It's quite generous. I think it's really cool. And so speaking of generosity, what's the deal that you're giving? For launch day. You know.
Yes. So as you can see the pricing over here, and while I'm on record, Dago, he tried to uh, negotiate a lot for all his users. There was a lot of to and fro
Yeah,
coming to this deal, but I appreciate him because he's thinking from that perspective as well. Like whoever is coming to his product should also find it worthwhile. And okay, all these products would have some deal attached to them, so it's like a win-win for all the sides. So that was a very good thought process also. Now I can relate to what you were tweeting a few days back that okay, a lot of thought goes into launching something. If you just do something and launch, that's like
yeah,
okay, a CRUD operation can be launched in a day or two, or a week. But when you have to differentiate and you have to think that
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
what else that needs that thought process, and this was a very good outcome. So coming back to the deal, as you can see, we have this lifetime deal running on. It's like 249 for everyone and limited to like 49 seats right now. We have lowered it to a whopping just 149 for the launch day users.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
Okay. So it's quite a good
just
deal.
one.
Yeah, I see.
Yes, 149 life. I would regret it later. I don't know because it's a lifetime deal. You are going to get this product with that storage. You use unlimited amounts of websites for a lifetime for just 149. And for all
Yeah,
the subscriptions, we are giving a flat 50% off whoever comes via launch day. So like everything
yeah.
would be half for the launch day users.
Okay, so like lifetime deal is like $100 off, so almost 50%, and the rest is 50% off.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, and I think people saw now that the product is like it's serious. So that's really impressive, man. Really great work, for indie. But when you tell your story, it makes sense. You were working on
yes.
super advanced apps for a long time, so really, really happy to have you here, man. It looks amazing.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Raghu. It was great talking to you. And I'm also
Yeah,
like waiting for your launch day thing to get launched. We are saying it like just at we are at the
yeah.
finish line. Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah, the finish. Yeah, for people not knowing, we're recording this. It's June 7, Saturday. Most of the interviews were recorded way earlier, like in December or January. Oh my God,
Oh,
I feel so much shame,
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
time I took. But
No,
yeah,
I
launch
have
day
been
is
building
coming,
this. Okay,
and
when you mention this, I have been building this for two
yeah,
years. Okay, the
yeah,
mobile app started 2 years back, and now we have like uh so a lot of my mentors, like, they told me, like, don't get discouraged by this thing, keep building, don't stop building. That's what they told me for this Bugsmash as well, because there were times where uh we were looking back, like how far we have come, but you know uh that, we are not experiencing that growth yet. We are not marketing enough,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing, but
It's very
yeah.
tough, yeah, to keep
Yes.
believing when you're not growing. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, man. So, I wish this brings you lots of sales. I really hope people will check it out. Really cool work. Uh, yeah, so, thanks for being part of launch day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me, Nago.